Hey folks, it's hot across the valley today and likely to stay that way for a while. The question mark is what's going to happen in the tropics. You notice Texas, our part of Texas, quiet today. North Texas seeing showers and thunderstorms, but it's over here that we're watching. If you kind of step back and look kind of the big picture, you can kind of see a spin already in the clouds, and this thing's still over land. Tropical systems can't form over land. They need the warm ocean water to go, so nothing's going to happen in the next 24 hours, but after that, all bets are off. Hurricane Center is giving this thing an 80% chance of developing once it gets into the Gulf of Mexico. Right now, it's just a little trough out ahead of a cool front, but that trough drifts southward the next 24 hours, ends up in the Gulf of Mexico by late tomorrow. When that happens, then all bets are off. Most of the models turn it into, at the very least, a tropical depression, some into a tropical storm, and then push it westward for a time, bringing just a whole lot of rain from the Florida Panhandle back across Mississippi and Alabama into Louisiana, and this is Thursday now, and eventually push some rain into Texas. But pretty much all of the models keep this well to the northeast of the valley. They get to about here and then lift it northward as it gets picked up by a trough. At least that's what all the models are suggesting now. We go back about 48 hours, all the models had it coming down and turning right back around. So that's a bit of a westward shift in the models since late last week and early in the weekend. So I think the bottom line is it's going to be a big time rainmaker up here. Perhaps a tropical storm, maybe even something bigger than that, but that still bears watch. Now look what the models do with this. Again, they're all pretty much in agreement. By tomorrow, this thing's out in the Gulf of Mexico and beginning to develop. Then it goes kind of southwestward and then straight west, then eventually back to the northwest. Then the models go everywhere after that. Sitting down here, it looks like the models are all in agreement, right? They're going somewhere up here. But if you're sitting here or here or here, that's a big difference and a huge difference in the impact it's going to have. So this is going to be a week where we're really going to need to pay attention to things. You know, is something else possible from this? Certainly, because the model's not in agreement beyond the next 2 or 3 days. Here's the big deal, though. I think rainfall will be the big thing. Notice how we get into the blues, so you're looking at a couple of inches pretty quickly, but then it really starts to take off, and there's some risk of more than a foot of rain in southeast Texas, southwest Louisiana from this by the time we get to early next week. So potential for a tremendous amount of rainfall. Notice there's a little green here, so less than ½ an inch if we get anything. Typically, if a tropical system goes in up here, we get a northwest flow, and that's a dry flow, and we get absolutely nothing other than hot. So we just have to watch this. It gets a little closer, then it can be a rain producer. But at this point, looks like it's a heat producer more than anything. Satellite and radar quiet. Future Track says it stays quiet tonight during the daytime tomorrow as well. Just mostly sunny skies with temperatures up around 100 degrees or so. We do the same thing on Wednesday, partly to mostly sunny again. Temperatures up near 100, and on Thursday, about the same thing. But of course, once we get beyond Thursday, it'll depend on the tropics and what happens with the yet unnamed system that's hanging out over Georgia. But we do believe the next 3 days will be dry, dry, and dry again. By the way, if that system does get a name, it will be Barry. So your first 1-5 accurate with the forecast for tonight, mainly clear, warm, and muggy, low of 79. Tomorrow, back up to 100. Should be a dry day, mostly sunny skies. We're dry tomorrow, sunny and hot Wednesday, and again on Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're putting a stray shower in here, but it really depends on the movement of that system. If it were to come farther west, we'd end up a lot wetter than that. If it stays farther away, we'll end up drier than that. Right now, we're thinking of mainly dry days, but it all bears watch. It is the middle of hurricane season. That's your updated first 1-5 accurate weather forecast.